Multiple suspects on the loose in Queens connected to a series of robberies at spas. One incident involved sexual assault. We're live with what investigators are telling us.
Israeli soldiers push deeper into southern Gaza. What this means for Palestinian civilians struggling to leave.
Small business owners sounding the alarm about congestion pricing. Just as today, MTA leaders will be making their case for the new tolls.
Good morning on this Tuesday, December 5th. I'm Chris Raggi.
I'm Mary Calvi. Welcome to CBS2 News this morning. And let's get right over to you, John Elliott, and that first alert forecast. So flurries possibly today?
You know what? Over the next few days, a flurry here and there, north and west. No big organized rain or snowmaker. It is Ninja Day, so one could sneak in. But for the big story, I think, is the cooler temperatures. There's cold air that's going to be firmly in place for much of the remainder of the work week. So let's get you off to work. Partly cloudy. We hate to see you go. 40 degrees right now. Wind out of the north-northwest at 15. Air temperature observations. Again, you can see that spread. Low 30s to low 40s. It's 41 in Westbury. It's a little warmer than in the city. But Franklin, Matawan, Mawa, Cascab, Sable, all at 38. Wind chills, you have to shave off about 5. Coolest wind chills right now, parts of Westchester and Rockland. It all depends on where that wind sets up. Now, morning sun will give way to clouds. Only 46 for a high, but you can see it's dry, so we don't anticipate major problems with that. It's just all about the chill. Coming up, we're going to check in with the weather watchers and a delightful shout out. Some new friends I made just yesterday. Right now, though, your TV friends, Mary and Chris.
Okay, John, thank you. Well, the search is on this morning for armed suspects accused in a string of violent robberies targeting spas across Queens.
The incidents have all happened within the last week and a half. The most recent taking place just yesterday afternoon at a spa on Jamaica Avenue. Zania Maldonado is there and joins us live with the very latest. Zania.
Well, Mary and Chris, this morning police say that the Sun Spa behind me here along Jamaica Avenue is the latest to get hit in a string of robberies. And now police are releasing pictures of the suspects they hope the public can help them identify with. Take a look at your screen. These are the two men that police are now looking for, hoping again that somebody may recognize them. They're wanted in connection with multiple spa robberies. The latest, as we mentioned, here at Sun Spa Monday afternoon. Police say a man with a gun walked into the spa and held the gun to a 50-year-old woman, demanding her to take him into a private room. Police say once inside, he sexually assaulted her, and before taking off, he stole money from 2 other women. Now, similar incidents took place at 3 other spas within the last week and a half. 2 spas also located on Jamaica Avenue and another located along Liberty Avenue. The crimes all have similarities. Police say either 1 or 2 men walk into the spas with a gun and demand cash, taking off with cell phones and hundreds or thousands of dollars. In one incident, the suspects even shooting a 52-year-old victim. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Although there was only 1 shooting among these robberies, police add these men did physically assault a number of their victims as well. Now, in all incidents, the suspects did take off on foot. Again, police asking for the public's help in identifying these suspects from the pictures, hoping that they catch them before they strike again. We're live this morning from Ridgewood, Queens. Zania Maldonado, CBS 2 News.
Zania, thank you. Major developments in the war between Israel and Hamas just days after the collapse of a week-long ceasefire. Israel is expanding its offensive into southern Gaza.
The Israel Defense Forces calling for mass evacuations of Palestinian civilians. The United Nations says some 1.7 million people in Gaza have already been displaced, and humanitarian groups warn they are running out of safe places to flee.
We do expect to see civilian casualties as a result of this campaign. That is sadly true in all wars. It is especially going to be true in a war in a crowded urban environment where the opponent, Hamas, is using civilians as human shields.
The U.S. is pressing Israel and Hamas to return to the negotiating table to restore the temporary ceasefire.
Well, police are investigating a deadly car crash in Inwood involving a Lamborghini. It happened on West 215th Street and 10th Avenue just after 10 o'clock last night. Investigators say the 23-year-old driver of the Lamborghini collided with another car. Both drivers were then taken to Harlem Hospital, where they are in stable condition. A 20-year-old passenger in the Lamborghini did not survive the crash.
5:34 right now. Today, supporters of congestion pricing will gather for a rally in Manhattan.
It comes as some commuters, local lawmakers, and business owners have come out squarely against the plan. But today, we're going to hear the MTA's side. CBS 2's Elijah Westbrook live in Union Square with more. Elijah?
Well, as you mentioned, Chris and Mary, today is really all about hearing from the MTA's point of view when it comes to congestion pricing. So we know later on this morning, right here at Union Square, advocates will be joining forces, if you will, with MTA leaders to encourage New Yorkers to be on board with this plan, but also have the MTA board vote on the latest recommendations on congestion pricing and have them rolled out as soon as possible. The battle over congestion pricing is intensifying as we inch closer to its proposed start date in the spring of 2024. This morning, advocates for congestion pricing, elected officials, and MTA Chair and CEO Janno Lieber are expected to rally in support of the release of the Traffic Mobility Review Board's credit and tolling structure proposals. The group is also calling on the MTA board to adopt those recommendations to help in rolling out the congestion pricing plan as soon as possible. As it stands, the transit agency's hopeful plan would charge most drivers at least $15 once a day to enter Manhattan's Central Business District or any area south of 60th Street. But some business owners and lawmakers say the plan is all around bad.
To have this congestion pricing shoved down our throats, it's going to be a death blow.
Julio Pena is a restaurant owner in the Lower East Side who's blasting the MTA's plan. He joined Congressman Mike Lawler of Rockland County and Josh Gottheimer of New Jersey, who are revealing startling numbers about just how much a single truck will have to pay to make deliveries in the Central Business District.
We think it's about nearly $30,000 a year in what their target you the breakdown of this for a truck to come in and out every day, right? Because of the tolls plus the congestion tax. It's a fortune. And you can imagine what it's going to do to these the cost is going to be on these small businesses.
But the MTA says congestion pricing is essential in keeping the city's public transit running efficiently while reducing traffic and air pollution. The transit agency says as much as $15 billion could be raised for subways, buses, and commuter rails under this plan and help fund the building of projects like the Interborough Express. And back out here live as we speak, we are waiting for advocates and MTA officials to talk about the next steps in congestion pricing and why essentially they feel it's a dire need for the city. Again, that will be happening at 11 a.m. And that's the latest here from Union Square. I'm Elijah Westbrook, CBS2 News.
Elijah, thank you. Well, Jonathan Majors' ex-girlfriend expected to testify today in the actor's assault trial in Manhattan criminal court. The 34-year-old Marvel star arrived to court yesterday for opening statements with his current girlfriend, actress Megan Good, by his side. He was charged with assault and harassment after his then-girlfriend accused him of hitting her during an argument last spring. The defense argues Majors was the true victim, claiming he was left bloodied. Majors has pleaded not guilty.
5:37 right now. Democrats and Republicans are narrowing their list of candidates to fill the congressional seat that was held by Republican George Santos. Meanwhile, Santos has launched a new effort to potentially earn money. He has an account with the video sharing website Cameo, where users sell personalized greetings and videos. Santos is selling videos for $200. His former communications director has her own message for her ex-boss.
You've had many opportunities to tell the truth for about a solid year, so maybe start learning to do that. You're not a victim. You are a product of your own making.
Governor Hochul has a week to announce a date for the special election to fill the congressional seat.
Well, it looks like there's going to be a Democratic primary showdown in New York's 16th congressional district. Westchester County Executive George Latimer took formal steps to challenge incumbent fellow Democrat Jamal Bowman. Latimer filed paperwork Monday to declare his candidacy and create a fundraising committee. He's yet to comment publicly. Bowman has represented southern Westchester and parts of the Bronx since winning that seat back in 2020.
We're learning Mayor Adams will return to D.C. Thursday for a series of meetings about the asylum seeker crisis in New York City.
Every service of our city is feeling the impact of this national crisis that the national government could resolve. We have 108,000 city, towns, and villages. We want a decompression strategy that allows the entire country to play a role in living up to the dream that we say we are about.
The mayor has made roughly 10 trips to D.C. to discuss this issue since last year.
Well, a loving farewell in New Rochelle for acclaimed Tony Award-winning actress Frances Sternhagen. The star called New Rochelle home for more than 60 years, raising 6 children with her late husband, actor Tom Carlin. She died at home last week at the age of 93. A strong supporter of the local art scene, on Monday, Sternhagen was fondly remembered at her funeral by longtime friends and neighbors.
I will remember her as the most gracious person in the world that I've ever met, because she was always reaching out to people.
We were invited into her house, the whole neighborhood, for Christmas Eve every year for caroling. She was just wonderful. We loved her.
Frances Sternhagen was equally skilled in drama and comedy, with memorable turns in Cheers, Sex and the City, and The Closer. She won 2 Tony Awards for her work on Broadway and starred with Sean Connery in 1981's Outland.
5:39 right now. Coming up, your next MTA trip through one station in Queens may be a little easier thanks to some upgrades. We'll show you the changes.
And new options for thousands of New Jersey commuters. What's debuting that could speed up your trip into the city.